The Virtual Boys have been playing Nintendo since they were little. These many years of experience have made them experts in the field, or at least they think so. Join them this week as they talk about...
Now you're playing with power.
You're listening to the Virtual Boys Podcast, a Nintendo podcast about Nintendo things by Nintensity. This podcast is done by four friends that talk about anything and everything Nintendo. Check out the website at nintensity.com and be sure to follow us on social media. Be sure to subscribe and share the show with your friends. Oh, of course, enjoy the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Virtual Boys Podcast, a Nintendo podcast about Nintendo things. This is episode 70, and I'm your host, David. I think that some espionage may be in order. Accompanied today with James.
This is the Monato's power! Oh, wait, I don't have the Monato anymore.
And Skylar.
Gengar!
I'm gonna guess that you've been playing Pokken.
Yes. Not as much as I'd like because of all the projects, but
Yeah.
Yes, I've been playing Pokken.
That's great. My quote might be a little bit weird to some people because it's from Golf Story, a game that I am unreasonably excited about for some reason. It looks really fun, but I don't know anyone else that's as excited as I am for it.
That is false because... No, I don't mean to call you out.
Oh, no.
But it is gaining a lot of popularity online or on Twitter and stuff like that. For some reason, there's a lot of people are just, I want my golf, I want my story.
I don't understand why people want 2D golf.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. We'll talk about that because in today's episode, it's going to be a little bit more laid back than we generally do. Sometimes we have like one big game topic that we're going to talk, for 40 minutes or half an hour about. But today we just want to talk about some games, games that are coming soon, games that we're excited for that are coming soon, games that we're not so excited for that are coming soon, and games that we've been playing or that we keep going back to. This is just a celebration and I guess a little bit of shade for all video games. Well, Nintendo anyway. So before we start talking about these games, though, I just want to remind you, our lovely listener, to check out our Patreon page because these episodes are going up early as a reward for those support us. You can check us out at patreon.com/Nintensity. And of course, if you want to talk about the episode, head over to our Discord community at nintendo.city/Discord. All right, well, let's jump right in. So now we can talk about Golf Story because it's a game that I'm excited for that's coming out sometime soon. They don't have a release date yet for the US, and only European news sources have gotten advanced copies of the game, but I think it looks really fun to play. It's basically a golf game that has a ton of RPG elements in it. Like you go around and explore and talk to people, you like do some little quests and stuff. The trailer shows off that you need to do some espionage. Golf balls are on fire in some of the instances. There's a graveyard, there's cute ducks, and the overall style just reminds me so much of Earthbound, especially kind of the Mother 3 aesthetic, and Stardew Valley, which, I think that this art style and the style of game looks really good. Have you guys seen anything else about this game that I'm missing?
It just looks like Super Mario Golf on the Game Boy Advance, right down to the text, actually. Although in Super Mario Golf on the Game Boy Advance, I don't think it was an over-the-top view when you putt golf either.
No.
I wonder if people are more excited about the RPG aspect around the golf than the actual golf itself.
That's probably pretty fair, because I know I am.
I'm pretty sure that's where where all the hype is coming from.
Because if I had to play NES Open Golf again, I'd probably shoot myself. But, I mean, if the story is good, then sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, I go back and forth on this one, because I had a lot of fun with the Game Boy Advance Super Mario Tennis RPG or whatever, Mario Tennis RPG, whatever it's called.
Yeah, that one's fun too.
That one, I had a lot of fun with that one. But obviously this is different because it's golf. Mm-hmm. But there is a lot of quirkiness to it. And David, you mentioned that a lot of European companies have gotten a hold of it, or something along those lines. I noticed that I saw some American journalists who had it too, like Game Explain put up a Game & Watch of the game. So I'm guessing it's rolling out here, but I'm not sure if there's a release date or not. That I don't know. Maybe we can get a copy of it eventually. Not sure, but we'll just have to see.
Yeah.
I'm not yet sold on it because there are other games I'm wanting to play. Mm-hmm. However, it looks like a great indie and a great title that it's Switch exclusive.
Yeah,
as far as I know,
it is, and yeah, if I do get a copy of it, I'll be sure to review it and let you, our lovely listeners, know, and of course you too, know if I actually did like it as much as I'm excited for. So. I brought up Golf Story first because that was what my quote was from, but let's talk about another big game that we're all excited for. Skylar, why don't you introduce it for us?
Well, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is coming out.
Wait, that's coming out? Really?
Yeah, in December.
You sure?
Wow.
December 1st, actually.
It amazes me how fast they're able to get this game out. Mind you, they had a little more time in Japan because the game came out a year before it released in America. Mm-hmm. So I guess they had a little more time, but
it's kind of crazy. I mean, I liked what I saw of the combat in the trailer from a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
That when they showed it off at their showcase.
Yeah, the Nintendo Direct. Yeah, we talked about that a bit. Yeah, it does look really fun. Like I said, I pre-ordered it as soon as I possibly could.
Me too.
Special edition. And now I'm kind of mad that I bought a Pro controller back in July because like I could have grabbed one of the awesome Pro controllers that are specifically for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but that's okay. I needed a Pro controller anyway. I'm happy with it.
I think it's so weird that this game is getting a Pro controller, but they didn't do one for Odyssey or Zelda.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I mean, it's really, really weird. But
yeah.
It's got this weird pink and blue aesthetic to it.
I don't know. I'm a little disappointed with the pink. I mean, I feel like it should be red, like the sword. I feel like the sword's red. Am I colorblind here? I don't know.
Well, the big blue is red in the title.
Yeah, so I feel like that should have been the color they went to, and maybe they're going off of Pyra's. I guess she has some sort of pink shade on her. I don't know. So. As long as the shade is in the game, I guess it's fine. But I think the red would have been a little cooler. And I do like the green little spark thing they have on it. That adds. That's like the first time we've had color on that part of the Pro controller.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I just did a quick Google image search, and the color scheme is based off of her character design. She's got that same green and that same color of pink. Huh. So,
yeah, I wish it was red, but I guess. Oh well. I mean, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna sell my original Pro controller and switch it out for that one. Mm-hmm. So at least there's that.
Cool. Cool. And like you were saying earlier, James, I meant to come back to this. It's amazing how good the game looks compared to how we originally saw it. Like I don't know if you guys have seen some of the comparison shots, kind of like they've done with Mario Odyssey, but. Like, the characters actually have more expression now, and the colors are a little bit more vibrant, and some of the textures are way more detailed, and they've put a lot more care into the game now than what we saw earlier. So, that's...
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, some of the screenshots are just, like, night and day.
Yeah.
When they're compared to each other. And I've heard people say differently, which I just think they're... I don't know. Maybe they're venting because of the art style in general, which understandably Xenoblade had a good art style going for him. I thought, but
yeah,
I guess they decided to go in this direction. But it has improved from what it originally looked like, and actually, in my opinion, it looks a little less cartoonish anime and a little more towards the style that we know from Xenoblade Chronicles, but obviously not the same whatsoever. Yeah. But just slightly more
I think they did add some touches.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It looks a lot better.
I hope the voice acting gets better. Just from a couple of things, like the giant monster. I am not a fan of his old Pop's voice when he's a child. That makes no sense
when he's
to
a
me.
child, it's like, can we change that?
And I kind of wish his voice had a little more boom to it when he's the giant beast. Just because he's a friggin' giant beast.
Yeah.
But it just makes sense. So I don't know. Maybe they'll do something. I'm not sure, though. They're pretty done with the game almost.
Well, yeah, especially at this point. I imagine they're just bug testing, and it's supposedly a huge game. They're probably just going through a lot of bug testing. I don't have a huge problem with the voice acting in general. I remember when it first released, I was kind of iffy on it. I was like, I don't know about this. As we've gone on, it's gotten a little better, and there's moments where I'm like, oh, that's good. And then there's moments where that was a little off. But it's not going to be perfect, and it's hard to replace. I can't remember his name. Forgive me, but the voice actor for Shulk, it's hard to replace him. He did such a phenomenal job in it, and all those guys did really.
Yeah, I agree.
And so
except for
voice acting,
except for Burst Edge, that one line, man.
It's like it only works for as long as you hold the name of the of the move. With the second you stop, it just
actually, I just found out today, and maybe I heard this before, but I found out that the voice actress for Melia was a partner on Doctor Who.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't remember her name, but or the actress's name, but she went from Xenoblade Chronicles, and I guess she went on to do Doctor Who.
It was Jenna Coleman? What?
Yes.
What?
Yes, that was the name.
Okay, all right. I like Jenna. She's cool. Anyway,
see, I've always liked Melia, but that Burst Edge is just so hilariously.
I just can't believe I never realized that it was Jenna Coleman. Anyway, I'll worry about. I'll think about that all night now, but we can move on.
Just
This is probably. It's hard. I want to say this is my most hyped game. I have a burning love that never dies for Xenoblade Chronicles. I don't know why. And maybe it's one. I feel like it's one of those games that really got me back into video games in general. Mm-hmm. Zelda has always been huge for me, but I remember David and Skylar and I were in the same apartment. Maybe this is actually before Skylar was in our apartment.
I'm pretty sure it was before Skylar was in our apartment because it was before the 3DS launched. So
that's right. Yeah. And I remember David was playing the game, and then I ended up picking it up and only getting halfway through. But I fell in love with it, and it just kind of rekindled this passion for video games. And in the end, I picked up on the new 3DS when that came out, and now we're here on a podcast and stuff like that. So I honestly I feel like this game is so important to myself and also for Nintendo going forward. I mean, it's kind of like their JRPG series now.
Well, it's what finally kicked Monolith Soft into gear. I mean,
yeah.
It wasn't gonna be Disaster Day of Crisis, that's for sure.
I think the title,
that poor game.
That title kind of alludes to how it went. Anyway,
but yeah, I mean, and now they've done a lot of work. They worked a lot on the new on Zelda Breath of the Wild, and now they're making this game. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
I said this before. I think Monolith Soft is my favorite development party from Nintendo right now. I don't know. I feel like the stuff they put out, and even if it's minor stuff like Breath of the Wild, still the stuff they put out it impresses me every time. Yeah, and I like their creativity and their wild imagination.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Anyway. Yeah.
And since we haven't heard from Retro Studios in a long time, we can't really put them on the list. So
we
still don't know what they're working on. minutes. But
What hast thou forsaken us?
anyway. All right. So we're all excited for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Should be a fun game. James, what's another game that you're excited about?
Another game that I am excited about. Hold on, I gotta think here real quick. I actually got off my notes, but
I'm stalling for time. Just kidding.
Stalling? What? Who's stalling? You're stalling. I'm not stalling.
Stop stalling and get on with it.
Project Octopath Traveler. I assume this is the one he wants me to talk about.
Oh, I don't know. I just kind of put that down because you were talking about it a bit. So go for it.
Oh yeah. Yes, I do want to talk about this one. I just want to make sure I was segueing into the right way.
That's fine.
Right game. Anyway, sorry. Project Octopath Traveler. Just because it really impressed me with its demo. I love most every aspect of it, and they were looking for feedback, and I gave the best feedback I could, and I told them that, hey, I'm a little worried that the gameplay could possibly get repetitive, like Bravely Default did. But the biggest issue with Bravely Default was that the enemies repeated, in the sense that you would go back to early levels in the game, and the monsters would be like level 2, and you would be level 50. And it's like, how am I supposed to grind with this? This is insane. And there's no way to get to really higher level monsters in the area. And so I'm worried, because this is the same people who do Bravely Default, I was a little worried that problem would come back. Mind you, part of that problem was because of the story plot, and I don't think that's going to happen with this. Mm-hmm. And so I'm really interested to see how all 8 of the travelers come together. And there seems like, maybe the title implies this, but there seems to be some sort of like 8 thing going on here.
Wow.
So that's why it's called Octo. Got it.
Oh, I thought it was just because Japan likes octopus.
Yeah, they're like,
they
love Octo.
When I first heard it, I was like, what the heck? This isn't underwater.
Where's the water?
Where's the Kraken? Where is it?
There's only 2 characters right now anyway. But yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good.
I downloaded the demo, but I haven't played it yet. I'm terrible.
I'm excited to see where they go with it. It's an interesting demo.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It does look really good. I wonder if they'll update the demo before the game actually comes out, looking for more feedback. I don't...
Yeah, that would be really interesting if they do that. But I think one of the problems they'll run in with that is that you'll run out of new content. You got to keep some surprise, and sure, there'll be surprises farther into the game. But yeah. I think having the 2 that they did, especially the huge difference between, I can't remember their names, but the warrior and the dancer,
mm-hmm.
the huge difference between them is
Old Barrack.
Yeah,
And
I can't remember.
What's her name?
Primrose. That's her name.
Primrose and Old Barrack, I think.
Yeah.
I was making fun of him because he's like, Old Barrack the cleric uses a sword. But no, he ain't no cleric. He's a big strong man.
He's a big man. Big strong man.
Yeah. He's
a big man.
He's a big boy.
But so far, it's Primrose was the side that really interested me. I really liked her style. I get to recruit people. And I don't know, like something about it really appealed to me. Real quick, some people were making fun of the dialogue of this game, like saying how it's like, I don't know, it was cheesy. I didn't get that. Maybe it's because I watch anime. Maybe that's the reason why.
Old Barracks is way cheesier.
That's true. I haven't actually finished all of Old Barracks yet, but yeah, a lot of it's pretty cheesy.
Old Barrack, for some reason, his whole thing is just wicked cheesy.
Yeah, they were complaining about Primrose, like final encounter with the boss of the level, and some of the dialogue that was going back and forth, and very like adult dialogue, like not like risque kind of stuff going on, and they were just like, oh my gosh, like gag me with a spoon. This is like Nicolas Cage level. And I was like, okay, yes, Nicolas Cage is on a whole nother level of cringe, but this game is not.
It's not Nicolas Cage cringe.
No, it's not. mind you, it's disgusting and
it's foul,
and
yeah.
and foul, but that just makes you hate that character even more, and then kind of respect Primrose for the human being and how she stands up to him. In my mind, it was a great moment. And anyway, I just want to get that out there because like some guy I followed on Twitter said it, and I was like, "What the heck, man? It's not that
How
bad."
about no?
Yeah.
Also, I have to say,
Don't make me get Nicolas
I have to
Cage.
say, James, Skylar's neighbors were really thrilled about what you just said there.
Yeah,
Oh yes.
yeah. My jerkwad neighbors.
We'll see if I edit that out.
Listen to the crowd. Listen to the people. They know what they're talking about.
They're out there bouncing the basketballs and shouting. So
And shouting the basketball shouts. Yeah, all right.
They playing Space
No,
Jam.
no, I wish. If it was Space Jam, it would be much cooler. I'd see, like, I don't know, freaking, like, Bugs and Lola, like, jumping and making baskets.
And you'd be like, sweet, dude. Sweet.
Yeah, man.
Sweet tricks.
Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Charles Barkley would be in here with me, and he'd be making all sorts of puns and jokes. It would be great. I get to... He'd be best actor, man. Best actor ever.
Best.
Oh, best actor, best athlete, best actor. Ahead of his prime. Ahead of his time.
Charles Barkley.
Oh, well, Project Octopath Traveler, working title, because that's how Nintendo's listed it on their website, launches in 2018.
Featuring Charles Barkley.
Yes, absolutely. All right. So the next game I wanted to talk about, this one is in my court, and I think you guys are excited for it too, is the Axiom Verge release on Nintendo Switch, which launches...
Got that sucker pre-order.
Yeah, it launches on the 5th of October, which is next week? Something like that. Very soon.
Yeah,
I think that's
it's
next
a
week.
week from
It's coming
week from
up.
tomorrow.
Amazing.
As of recording.
Yeah, because we're recording on
Exciting.
Wednesday, the 27th of September. So,
Oh wait, a week from Friday. Sorry.
aha. But I didn't get to play Axiom Verge on the Wii U. I just didn't get around to it, and the Wii U never really was mine.
Yeah, nor did I.
And so I'm excited to have another Metroidvania game on my Nintendo consoles.
So many Metroidvania games this year.
And not a Metroid Inside.
What are you
What are you talking
Well,
about? We
Not the near side.
got one like 2 weeks ago.
We're talking about the Switch here, people.
Okay, I was just I was kind of
I was
talking
just
about
talking in general.
Nintendo consoles, but yes, you're right.
You guys said so many Metroidvania on the Switch, and it said no Metroid
Sorry.
in sight. We're
All
talking
right,
about
you
the
got
Switch.
me there.
Although that's not entirely correct because we do have Metroid Prime 4 coming eventually.
So we have a Metroid in sight.
Yes, it's in sight. I just don't
It's
know
on the
how far it is.
horizon. You can't tell yet.
It's on my map. It's
Well,
bleeping
it was
on my
far
map.
enough
I just
along-
can't figure out how to
Far
get
enough
there.
along that Nintendo felt comfortable announcing it.
It's like one of those Zelda checkmark points, that's just like beeping off of the side of your map, and you're like, I know I got to run that direction. How far?
I really hope it's not one of those moments where it's like, yep, we're bringing Super Smash Bros. Brawl. And Sakura's like,
What?
since when?
Sakurai instantly.
This is the first I've heard of it.
Sakurai instantly chokes Miyamoto on the stage.
I thought he'd be excited about Brawl because he balanced it himself.
Oh my!
Anyway, we're diverging a little bit. Axiom Verge is really fun. Skylar's the only one that's really played it out of the three of us, right?
I put a review of it on the website.
Yeah. What did you give it?
Like a 8.3 or something. Let me check.
I can pull it up right now while you tell us about the game a little bit.
But yeah,
I thought it was a 9.
it
but
might be a
maybe I'm
9.
wrong.
I mean, it's basically Metroid. Yeah, it's Metroid. So,
Oh, I love your title, The Real Metroid Anniversary Game, because that's what it was,
yeah, because it was Metroid's
Yeah.
anniversary. We didn't get anything. It's like, so we're like, well, I guess this is Metroid's anniversary.
Yeah, you gave it a 9.1.
All right, 9.1.
9's across the board with a 9.5 for gameplay.
It's really good. Like it had been a really long time since we had a 2D Metroid when I played that game, and it was nice to get a fresh Metroid experience.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun.
I feel like it came at a time when, like you said, there was kind of a famine for Metroid, and it feels so much like Metroid. And coming from my experience with Samus Returns, and watching you play Axiom Verge, it feels a lot like a Metroid clone, or not a clone per se. It takes a lot of things from Metroid, but it still makes it its own. I don't know. It's kind of...
It comes down to the weapons, mainly. All the different guns are so different, and not really anything you see in Metroid, but you use them like Metroid kind of power-ups.
Exactly.
Which is very interesting, very cool, and it's really hard for people to pull off a Metroid clone. Most of the time, they just don't end up as good as Metroid. But I think Axiom Verge is equally as good as, like, Samus Returns, for instance.
Yeah.
I think I probably liked it a little bit more when I played it, just because it was so scarce at the time.
Oh, yeah,
Metroid game.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So I just love a good Metroidvania game. I mean, I just got SteamWorld Dig 2. I'm excited to finally play through that now that the tests that I had this week are over and I don't have any homework. I'm gonna sit down and play that after we record this episode. So Axiom Verge comes out in a week, so be sure to grab it. Hey everybody, it's your good friend David hopping in the middle of the episode like I normally do. We're still not sponsored, so this commercial break is just full of reminders as per usual. I just wanted to remind you to check out our website at nintensity.com, where you can find news, show notes, and so much more. We've been working pretty hard to make sure that we get the best news out to you in a timely manner with some of our own opinions. We've also been working behind the scenes on a few reviews as well as some opinion articles, so stay tuned for those. If you want to help write for the site, share some opinions, you can get in contact with us at contact@nintensity.com. Just let us know what you're looking to do. I'd also remind you to check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/Nintensity. You can also find our Twitter at twitter.com/Nintensity. Both of these profiles are where you can find what we're doing. We post all of the news that goes onto the website, so you can stay up to date without necessarily needing to check the website itself. And we've been posting some funny images here and there, and, just trying to have a good time. Be sure to like and follow us on those accounts so that you can get all of that wonderful news. I'd also like to remind you to check out our Patreon page. I know we plug this a lot, but it really means a ton to us. We've been pushing these episodes out early for those that support us at the $5 or more tier. That's just $5 a month, and you get access to these episodes early, and it's a great way to show your support for the website. Another way to show support for the website and this podcast is by leaving a review on iTunes. I know a lot of podcasters ask you to do this type of thing, but it's to help us get more recognition within iTunes' algorithms themselves. So if you could do that and let us know how we're doing, that'd be wonderful. We'd really appreciate that. That's pretty much all I have today. Thanks so much for listening to this episode. It really does mean a lot. You can tweet about the show using the hashtag virtualcast, and we'll be sure to see it and respond to your questions, and maybe even put some of your topic ideas in one of these episodes. Again, that's all I've got, so thank you so much for listening again. I'll let you get right back to it. Thanks. Skylar, what's your next game on your list?
Well, we got Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions. Comes out. It comes out on the 6th next month. So, lots of games. Yeah, lots of games.
They're trying to push as much out before Mario Odyssey as they can.
It's like, please, oh crap, we got to get rid of all this stuff before Mario Odyssey comes out. No, but Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, one of the best RPGs of all time. One of my personal favorites.
Yeah, indeed.
It's so good, and I mean, granted, it does now have the Dream Team art style.
Yeah.
So whatever, but I really like the gameplay, and the story was fantastic. Fawful's back.
Mm-hmm.
Fawful, so much Fawful. It's great. It's Fink Rats and mustard sauce for days. It's so great. And then they're adding the little Bowser's Minion tag to it,
Yeah.
so you'll be able to play a little RPG adventure with Captain Goomba, which is the most generic name ever. You go and fight Fawful for Bowser. It's pretty cool. And they're releasing the Goomba and the Koopa amiibo with it, which I'm probably not going to buy because why the heck would I want a Goomba?
Maybe the Koopa. The Koopa looks alright.
Koopa's okay, but why the heck would I want either of them? They're just like generic.
If it was like a Captain Toad or like, I don't know, if they had like skinned it based off of like a Paper Mario character or something. Like if it was Koops and Goombella, heck yeah.
Man, it should have been Captain Goomba.
Yeah.
Goomba with a freaking pennant out of his head.
Wonderful.
That'd be hilarious.
Like, what is this thing? But yeah, I mean, I'm not excited for like the amiibo, but the game itself, I'm excited to play it again. And after this comes out, you will be able to play every single Mario and Luigi game on your 3DS.
Yeah, that's true.
It's pretty amazing.
You can grab the 2DS, the two-dimensional DS, the original DS games, those cartridges, and play them. Yeah, it's cool.
Yep.
One thing that I'm not too keen about that I've seen from it is they've changed up how the bros moves work. One thing that's nice for a lot of newcomers to the series is you can practice the bros moves as many times as you want before you actually use it without spending any bros points. But they got rid of the varying abilities of the bros moves and changed how the attacks actually look and work. Like the spin bros or whatever it's called, the one that Mario spins on top of Luigi. Instead of Luigi actually grabbing onto Mario, it's like just the advanced version where he spins Mario really fast up into the air and then smashes down like several times. I don't know. It looked different to me. I don't know. That's what I saw on a recent gameplay thing. I might be totally tripping and totally wrong, and people might be yelling at me right now. But that was one thing that I saw. Maybe I'll have to do some more research. But
if they did that, that would be horrible.
Yeah,
they did get rid of advanced moves. They did do that.
I don't know. Oh well.
Why?
Oh well. It's still going to be a fun game. I'm not trying to like underplay it. It's just
I don't
something
know. Maybe they're trying to streamline in the sense of making it easier. I don't know. It's not like it was hard or terribly difficult.
If you can practice them indefinitely, why would you?
Yeah, why not try to make it stronger?
Oh man, that's bad news.
Now that was from people who have early copies of it. Maybe they just thought it'd be the beginning of the game. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's what they're saying.
That's not good.
It's not in there.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Oh well, we'll have to see what ends up happening with our own eyes. See if it actually comes through. But yeah, get that game. It comes out after next week. So get Axiom Verge first, and then get Mario and Luigi. Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions. I got to say the full title now, because there are multiple Mario and Luigi titles, and there's already Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, so we have to add the plus Bowser's Minions. Anyway, all right. So James, do you have another game that you're excited for?
Yeah, this is like an ongoing thing where they're just adding more and more to the game, Yacht Club games, that is. And it's Shovel Knight King of Cards. I don't know exactly when in 2008 it's coming out, but I am excited beyond belief. All three of the former versions of Shovel Knight were tremendous. And this one promises to be even more a wacky twist on the whole thing. And I'm excited to see exactly how King Play feels and how his gameplay works.
Is the gaudy goober himself. I'm so excited for Shovel Knight. I mean, just King Knight, he's great. Oh man, I was kind of hoping it would be more like he takes over his kingdom, like make it an epilogue thing. But it looks like it's more like a before even Spectre Knight gets there kind of story.
Yeah. Like I'll read a little bit of the description that's on Nintendo's website. It says, play as King Knight, the Gilded Goon himself, as he travels through 4 new worlds and more than 30 all-new courses on a journey to best the 3 kings who rule over the land. Like that's kind of cool. Like, and I mean, we saw in Spectre Knight, which was a prequel to Shovel Knight by quite a while, I think. We saw King Knight actually painting the castle, and he was sitting on the throne, which means that, like, he got the throne before Spectre Knight even got there. So this is a pre-prequel. So
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
Yep.
I am very excited.
Yeah, not too many details, but it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah. Very fun. So
I wonder when their fighting game is gonna the fighting version is gonna come out. Is that gonna come out the same time as King Knight, or is that gonna be like even later in 2018?
yeah.
That's a good question.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. Huh. Well, either way, it's gonna be fun. Very good. I'll move on to my next title. Stardew Valley. It finally got approved by Nintendo this morning or last night or something like that, as of this recording. And this is something that I've been interested in for like over a year because it's like, a farming game that has a lot of RPG elements where you kind of control your own story. So it's like a combination of Animal Crossing with a little bit of RPG with, what's the name of it? Harvest Moon. Some of these fun elements from the series, tying it all together. And it's finally coming out on Nintendo Switch soon. We still don't know when. But
I kind of feel like Harvest Moon has always had a lot of Animal Crossing elements to it, though.
Yeah,
just in the sense you always talk to villagers and you always try to romance options, whatnot, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Stardew Valley looks really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a really good game to add to the Switch library. I personally bought too many Harvest Moon games to count and never finished them, so I probably won't pick this one up. If it was more like Rune Factory, where freaking fight monsters and grow crops super fast, maybe. But I mean, I just can't for anything. I just can't finish a Harvest Moon game. I have no idea why.
I'm there with you. I can't. Farming games are just hard for me to focus on. Animal Crossing is a little different because of the interaction with a lot of people, and Harvest Moon had a lot of interaction too. I don't know. I just don't know what it is. Maybe I just don't want to do chores in my video game.
That's fair.
But then Animal Crossing is a bunch of chores too. I mean, I'm pulling weeds for hours on end, so I don't know.
I usually binge Animal Crossing for like a few weeks, and then put it away.
That's true.
Yeah, I do the same.
That's true. Binge it, put it away. When I come back, everyone's dead.
Yeah,
oh, crap.
I mean, I get bursts where I feel like I really want to play some Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I do the same.
And I just keep playing Animal Crossing for a while, and then I just stop.
Yeah,
but
I've done the exact same thing on my 3DS. I get the urge to play it just one day, and then I don't even touch it the next day. It's just like I played it for 2 hours, I fix up my town, and then I'm done. It's like, all right. But I think that would be fixed if we had an Animal Crossing for Switch, Nintendo. What the heck?
Give them a break, man. They have so many games coming out this year.
So many. I would just love to have an Animal Crossing game on my handheld console hybrid.
It's like, poor Nintendo. They're just like, man, we still can't win.
Yeah,
freaking
right?
really Zelda, Mario, and Metroid game all in the same year. They want Animal Crossing.
Ridiculous.
And Xenoblade. It's pretty insane. Like comparing last year to this year, it's completely different.
It's like last year didn't even happen. And I think back on last year, the video game scene. I'm just like, wait, what did we even get? I mean, I know
we were all depressed. We were all really depressed. We're just like, guys, I don't know what to do. Zelda's just so far away.
Hey guys, you're gonna have to replay Mario 64 again for the 15th time.
I think we did like 4 podcast episodes just on NX rumors because we just wanted the Wii U's life to be over. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Poor Wii U.
Poor boy.
It was short-lived.
Get back in your box.
Get back in the box.
Well, anyway, Stardew Valley comes out soon. Good, let's get it.
Exciting.
Yeah, I think we have 2 more games left on our list. What's next?
Yes.
What's next?
So I guess we could talk a little bit about Skyrim. I'm not going to talk too much about it because it's like a freaking 10-year-old game by this point.
Yeah, I know, right?
Actually, it's I think 7 years old now.
Yeah, I think it is 7.
Anyway,
6 or 7.
Excited for it. It's Skyrim, Zelda DLC, cool stuff. I mean, not much else to say about Skyrim. It's Skyrim. People have said lots about Skyrim.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I, as someone who's never played it, it is appealing. But at the same time, we're in this crazy year of Nintendo that I I don't know if I want to put the time into it.
Yeah.
Because if I do, it'll probably be a long time
Well-
of me playing it. So I just don't know if I can afford to lose that much time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Not saying it's a bad game.
Also,
Oh,
it's
no.
been like 13 days before Xenoblade Chronicles 2, so...
Right.
Yeah, so,
right.
wait, which
And
big
I
game do you
hate
want to play
putting down
first?
a game.
It's kind of how it's going to go.
I wonder.
Xenoblade.
And Skyrim will still be there next year, so if there's like kind of a lull or something, I'll be like, well, guess what's on the shelf right now?
Freaking Kirby, Metroid, and Yoshi all come out next year.
Yeah.
I mean,
It'll blow our
yeah, I mean,
minds.
there's got to be like a low point somewhere, right? Right?
Yeah.
Hey, if there isn't, hey, good for us.
I hope so. It's like now we're getting too much, too fast. We had nothing last year, and now it's just the overabundance.
I wonder if like maybe not 2018, but 2019, there's just going to be like nothing. It's like, oh no.
No,
Yeah,
we're going to get Mario Odyssey 2. Just kidding. We're going to push it out super fast.
Oh my!
Speaking of Super Mario Odyssey,
Oh,
Odyssey.
Odyssey. Odyssey.
I am so excited for this game.
Me too.
I'm trying to quench the hype so much because it won't come out for like a month. But I was listening to the music the other day, Jump Up Superstar again, and I noticed in the bridge that they used the Donkey Kong riff from the arcade cabinet.
Yeah, you just barely noticed that? It's amazing.
Well, it's the first time I ever listened to it outside of the trailer. And so I'm like, oh, balls.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's like they changed it up a little bit, but yeah, it's so fantastic.
I mean, they flourished it. I was like,
Yeah.
crap.
It's good.
They spent so much time on that song. Like, just working in studios and noting and just kind of getting more of a feel for how long it takes to make something like that. Holy crap, they spent a lot of time on that song. Everything is so well balanced. So much went into that.
Yeah. I'm so excited for this game. We mentioned a couple weeks ago, or last week, 2 weeks ago, that it looks like there are like over 700 moons to collect in this game, or something like that, 600 to 700. That is an insane number of collectibles in a Mario game.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and they all have a list. They're all there.
Yeah.
They're numbered. They're not like the Korok seeds where they're not numbered.
Yeah, they literally they each have their own individual title. They have their own location. They have their own puzzles to solve to get to them. They're numbered.
Yep.
It's like, holy crap. Like,
So what amazes me so far is or two things. One, the file size for this game is puny.
yeah.
It is. I mean, obviously this is Nintendo we're talking about, so it's not too huge of a
The
of a
compression
shock.
masters.
Right, but at the same time, this game is ginormous from what we can see.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we already know of 10 kingdoms, and that's almost as many worlds, if not as many, in Super Mario Sunshine. So,
I think it might be more.
it may be. And I remember as a kid thinking that Sunshine, wow, there's like so much to do, so much to see. What's so wrong with being in the back street? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Shrek.
It just boggles my mind how big this game is going to be. And I imagine there may be even more than 10 worlds in the end. Shoot, could we actually hit Super Mario 64 numbers? I don't know. I mean, what, Super Mario 64 was 15, maybe more?
Yeah, there were 15 courses. Yeah.
So, I mean, I can see us getting like some smaller ones, and maybe that would bring it up to the number of 64. And not like it needs to be, because I mean, have you guys seen the recent footage for, say, the Cooking Kingdom or whatever that one's called, Food Kingdom or something like that?
I haven't really looked at it too much.
Yeah, fair enough. Just for some of the footage I've seen, it's just so big, and there's different parts of it, and I can't imagine how many hours I can spend just exploring every nook and cranny, and it'll reward you for that, man.
Yes, it will.
Yep.
It's insane.
It's going to be fabulous.
Go ahead.
Guys,
Sorry.
It's been so long since we've had a not generic Mario game.
Yep.
Freaking Super Mario 3D Worlds, it was meh. And then New Super Mario Brothers U probably killed the life of the console. But I mean, this looks like real substance. Oh man!
And see, some of my favorite news sources have been uploading gameplay bits on YouTube, little things that they're allowed to show, and the music in the game is really good too. Like, I'm very excited to listen to the full soundtrack. I mean, I've only heard a couple of levels because Nintendo hasn't really let, these people put a lot of stuff out there. But, it's going to be so good. The music's going to be great. The audio direction is fabulous. The visual style is awesome. It's going to take me a bit to get used to Mario's running animation, but I'll get used to that pretty quick, I think. It just seems a little bit more like natural than it has in the past.
Too human.
I know. That's like literally it. But no,
since when did Mario get hair follicles?
I don't know.
Since they had the time to animate it.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I did just want to say real quick, James, there were only 7 levels in Mario Sunshine.
Oh.
So
well, there you go.
I mean, technically 8 if you count Corona Mountain, but I don't count that one.
Yes, 8.
So
I would count that one.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. So, yeah, the game's going to be a lot bigger than Sunshine, for sure. And Sunshine, like you said, already felt big. So, we're very excited for Super Mario Odyssey, and we will definitely talk about that game when it comes out. Like, you can bet your bottom dollar.
Well, we're going to talk about that in 2 weeks. I think that's the plan.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have another episode about this and what we want to see and what we hope doesn't come to Super Mario Odyssey.
See everything.
Our expectations and hopes, whether they be positive or negative.
I saw Mario without his shirt on, so I think I've seen everything.
You've seen it all.
Seen it all, baby.
Those nipples don't lie.
So,
I still don't understand why everyone freaked out about that. Jeez.
It's because it's not normal for Americans to draw nipples on their characters.
I guess not.
Yeah.
Because it's
normal for Japanese people. Maybe there's something wrong going on there. Okay, anyway.
Anyway, so those are the games that we're excited for. Mario Odyssey launches next month on the 27th, I think. Right?
Yep.
Can't wait.
3 days before Halloween.
Man.
I have a mighty need.
Holy crap! I still need to hurry and pre-order that so I can have it day one. Can't believe I haven't. Anyway, so those are the games that we're hyped about. Lots of good stuff coming soon. There are a couple of games we wanted to talk about just to kind of even out the episode, so it's not like, oh my gosh, these podcasters are so hyped about everything. There are a few games that we're really not that hyped about that are coming out soon. I wanted to throw this one out there just because we kind of talk about it every so often. It's Yokai Watch 2: Psychic Specters. I remember we talked about when the demo came out for the very first one, and we were not impressed.
No. Skylar and I, we picked it up and we were just like, this is, so sorry for the lack of better language, stupid. Like,
this is anti-fun.
It's anti-fun. Like, it's not like it's, I don't know, it just is not, it's not engaging, it's not fun, like Skylar mentioned.
So I don't understand why they're bothering bringing out the part 2, because Yokai Watch 2, the first one only sold 0.16 million in North America.
0.16, 160,000.
Yeah, that's how does Nintendo still back this product? How are they still on board with selling this here?
It's got to have
makes no sense.
It's got to have something to do with the relationship with Level 5.
I mean, it's only going downhill, too. I mean, the first game was 0.4 million, and this one's 0.16. Why in the world are you still supporting this? Yeah, it's on a downward spiraling trend. Mm-hmm. This isn't Japan, where it sells 3.19 million. It doesn't do very well here.
Yeah.
It's really baffling that they even bother to mention it at all, really.
Localize Mother 3 first, Nintendo.
I guarantee you'll get more than 0.16 million people buying.
Guaranteed. Anyway, that's all I had to say about that game. Just, I don't know. Not very hyped about it. Didn't buy the first one, didn't buy the second one, not buying the second one.
Yeah, it's really odd. For as much as I beat it up, I actually haven't bought the first one, Yeah. But what I played is just enough to tell me, like, this is not For me, this is watered down and not engaging whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah. So another game that we listed that we're not so hyped about. I mean, I still think that there's some interest. It's Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I really feel
I hate to put this on the list, but at this point, it's kind of like, okay, we got Surfing Mantine. All right, okay.
Yeah.
Bro. Like,
it's a Pokemon
can I get some new Alolan forms?
Yeah, for real. Like, why haven't they revealed more forms? It's like, all they showed us was the new Necrozma forms where he absorbs Solgaleo and Lunala. And then we got, like, Lycanroc Dusk form. That's, like, all of the new stuff that we've seen. Plus 2 Ultra Beasts, I guess.
We need a Alolan Alakazam Psychic Dark type.
Yes.
That'd be great.
Of course. But I don't know. I still want to play this game. I still might end up getting it eventually. Maybe not right when it releases. But I'm not nearly as excited for it as I was for Sun and Moon. It's like I've got other games that I want to play first. I've got Xenoblade. I've got Mario. I've got the Splatoon stuff that I've been doing lately. I'll talk about that in a bit. But, just lots of other stuff to play. So I think that's kind of how I feel about that. So
at that point, I think I would have played, at least I would hope have finished Mario Odyssey, and I'd probably be waiting for Xenoblade. So I think it'd be kind of a good game to help me pass the time.
Give you 17 days, I think, to beat Odyssey.
That's enough time to
took
beat
me a
Ultra
month
Moon.
for Zelda.
No. I'm talking about Ultra Moon, not
Oh, I thought you were trying to beat Mario Odyssey before Ultra Moon.
No, well, I mean, it would take me a month, but then I'd be able to probably beat Ultra Moon before Xenoblade came out.
yeah.
It would only be like a few days, but...
Yeah.
Yeah. But, oh well. I think that there's some good elements to it. It's still a Pokemon game. I'll probably end up getting it. So, anyway. All right. We got one more game. Skylar, you wanted to introduce this one for the not so hyped?
Yeah. I mean, so every time I see this game and every news about it, I get more pissed off. So, Fire Emblem Warriors, they just announced the DLC packs, and now you can waifu Lucina. Great! And you get 3 DLC packs that are based around the first game, Awakening, and Fates.
Yep. As if we didn't have
Nothing
enough
outside
Awakening
of
and Fates
that.
characters.
It's like, look, I mean, I played through Awakening and Fates several times, but I like the old games too.
Yeah.
Why do we not get any more love from the Pantheon of Fire Emblem?
Right.
What are we talking about? We're getting Shadow Dragon stuff.
Hyrule Warrior. Like, we've always got Shadow Dragon stuff in this.
No, we're getting DLC.
It's not new. We already had Shadow Dragon stuff. They had Marth in there. They had
Well, now we're
Kata
getting
in there.
more.
Oh my gosh. That's the worst game in the series. Go ahead. I mean, just from this standpoint, it's just very frustrating to see how much love Hyrule Warriors got with its pantheon of characters. They even freaking go do Link's Awakening.
Yeah, Marin from Link's Awakening, like, to be more specific, like, she didn't fight at all in that game, and yet she's a fighter.
She fights with a freaking bell.
Yeah.
Like, what in the world is this?
When that came out, I was like, okay, now they're just like, I mean, I'm glad they have the love for it, but I was kind of thinking maybe they're scraping the bottom of the barrel here, trying to get as much as they could. But now looking on it, it's like, well, maybe they were just showing how much they love, or maybe it's a little of both. But I mean, you look at the Fire Emblem Warriors, and it's like they're bringing all these minor characters, and yet they still have major characters from big games that they're just completely ignoring.
Yeah.
So,
the only character outside of any of these games is Lyn. I'm not buying this
Celica.
game for one character. Oh yeah, Celica. Sure, Celica. She's from the newest game.
That's true. She is from the newest game.
So that makes more sense, but where's Alm? You can't have Celica without Alm.
Yeah.
They're two halves of the same whole.
It would be nice to have Alm. Although I can see Celica because of her a little more unique fighting style, I imagine. But
I think it's because she's a girl, and they like to animate girls, which is probably why Lyn is also the only other pick.
Yeah,
which is fine.
I can tell they had fun animating Lyn.
Yeah, they gave her freaking what's her bucket physics.
Yes,
Camilla physics.
I don't.
But
I have to say, where's my boy? Where's Roy?
And no, we don't need Roy.
we don't need Roy.
All right, fine.
But we need Ike.
We don't need Roy. We don't need Ike. We don't need anyone. We just Screw all the favorite characters.
You see what your problem is, Skylar. And maybe David, you don't fall into this. You're pure. You see, Skylar, your issue is that you're an elitist and you can't handle other people enjoying something that they love. I love Fates. I love Awakening. And yes, it's because it's the waifu. But you have xenophobia because you can't accept the fact that someone wants to marry a
xenophobia.
Yes, xenophobia. Because you can't accept the fact that some people may want to marry their virtual love. And that is Japanese culture, and you are afraid of that. You are afraid.
Look, James. I probably beat Fates and Awakening more times than anyone on this podcast combined. And it's not like I hate the games. I just want more love spread across the
You beat it out of spite.
I beat it out of spite. There are people who won't come 10 feet next to a copy of these games because they hate them so much. They are also
elitist too. You all are elitist. And how dare you try to force the games that you love onto a game that, I probably love more than you.
You know what? Screw you. Screw all these people. They don't know what they're talking about.
I'm just dying over here.
It's definitely an extreme of what I've heard online.
Yeah.
And there's definitely people who are out there who say, Awakening and Fates have ruined the franchise.
If that was really the case, though, then why did Ike win the popularity poll?
Right. Why I did win the popularity poll, and also, Awakening kind of, saved the franchise from death. Without the success of Awakening, you wouldn't have it. But at the same time,
the two games that came up before Awakening were Shadow Dragon and Shadow Dragons Part 2.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, you have to understand that there are people who have played, Ike's game and people who have played Lynn's game with Hector, and they want to see these characters in a game where you're supposed to have all the best of Fire Emblem, and yet we don't have it. So I understand the frustration. Mind you, I don't think people should necessarily completely throw it out of the window because their favorite character is not in there. But if you don't like warrior gameplay, if you don't like Musou gameplay, then don't buy it, because it's you're not getting the characters you want, and you're not going to enjoy yourself. If you can enjoy the gameplay, then sure, buy it. And maybe eventually they'll bring the DLC. Maybe they'll bring Ike. Maybe they'll bring Hector. Mm-hmm. And maybe they'll bring Roy, David's boy.
My boy.
But at this point, real quick. At this point, it's more on, do you like Fates and Awakening? And I guess Marth, if you do, then this is great. If you don't, well, I hope you like Warriors gameplay. Otherwise, you're probably not going to have the greatest of time.
Yeah.
They put all 10 of the Fates characters in. The Fates, the royalty. All of them.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I guess of the characters, I understand if they were in the game eventually, but maybe not to start off with. And I guess they're trying to build some sort of story, and that's the low-hanging fruit of Awakening and Fates. But, I mean, there's other stories you can explore, and I thought maybe they would do that in DLC, but look at this. The first 3 DLC packs are more Fates and Awakening, and then they have Shadow Dragon for 1, but that story in that game is very meh to begin with. So it just kind of boggles my mind. So it's when are we going to get these Blazing Blade and Path of Radiance stories? Where is it? Is it going to be later in 2018? Maybe.
Wait, how does Lynn fit in?
I don't know.
Lynn can't fit in. It's just a shoehorn.
Yeah, she was so one weird character that was really popular. Let's throw her in.
See, it's also weird because in the true ending of Fire Emblem 7, Hector and her, spoilers, get married. She wouldn't be there without him. Same with Alm and Celica. Why in the world would you ever split those two up?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to maybe see how it ends up playing out in the game.
Right.
They must have some reason. I don't know. Well,
you talk about shipping.
Well, yeah,
those are canon. Those are
Right.
canon shippings.
Right. I just want to say real quick that if you want to get this game, go for it. If you like the gameplay, please do. I mean, we're not trying to deter. And if you are someone who loves Fates and Awakening, I want to tell you that I like Fates more than Awakening, which is, I guess, apparently a not very common opinion among some people's minds. But I too like those games. But I am disappointed in what I'm seeing, and I'm kind of burned out from Hyrule Warriors with the whole formula of this gameplay. So for me, I'm just not going to pick it up. But if you want to, if you feel like this is truly enjoyable for you, by all means, go for it. I'm not gonna tell you you're a butthurt fan or you're someone who's blinded by fandom or waifu envy or whatever.
Right. As it stands, we understand both sides as of right now. Like, I can understand why.
I think I understand both sides.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, being burnt out on the Warriors gameplay is one thing for me. The only thing really gonna get me to buy this game was the characters that I wanted to see. And
exactly.
I don't get that, so I'm not buying it. If I want to play Warriors, I can go play Hyrule Warriors. I have like 200 or 300 hours left of that game, apparently.
Yeah. So you got a lot to work on there. So, yeah. Anyway, those are the games that we're not so hyped about. So let's spend the next couple of minutes. We'll keep it pretty short and move on to our segment where we talk about what we've played this week. Just really quick, of course, we've been talking a lot about games, but we want you, our listeners, to know that we do play games and not just sit and talk about stuff that's coming out soon. I'll go ahead and go first. I finished Samus Returns, which is a fabulous game. We'll talk about that next week. So,
did you 100% it?
Not yet. I am working on that. I know I do.
You're
really
missing
need
the
to.
story element.
I'm going to have to then.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
Dude, it's like what? What?
It's huge.
No, I'm not kidding. I am not kidding.
Dude, it scared the crap. Anyway.
Sorry.
I'll get there. Don't worry, I'll finish it. But I've also been playing a lot of Splatoon 2, as per usual. I've talked about this the last 2-3 weeks on the podcast. It's like one thing that I just do in my spare time. But I've been really getting into some of the competitive play. I've been trying to build perfect pieces of armor that are suited for the different weapons. I know what's in meta right now, which is weird because I've never followed Splatoon that closely before. Like, I'll tell you right now, the two top weapons are the L3 Nozzle Nose and the Aerospray RG, which is the gold Aerospray. So
I'm not surprised about the Aerospray one.
Yeah, the gold Aerospray is so good. The gold Aerospray is good because it's got the fast coverage. It's got low range with fast coverage, which means you can kill people really, really fast if you're right up next to them. And it's got the baller, the hamster ball type special, which is absolutely phenomenal if you have at least one main of special up, because the splash damage will kill anybody. So that's why the L3 Nozzle Nose and the RG are so in meta right now is because of that. The washing machine's also in meta, which is really fascinating to me. I never thought that weapon would be really in meta. Tri-Slosher...
I thought it would. I thought it would.
Okay. And Tri-Slosher is out of meta, which is fabulous because
really?
Tri-Slosher was a pain in the butt to deal with.
They nerfed it, didn't they?
They nerfed it pretty bad. They actually took it back to what it was in Splatoon 1. For some reason, they buffed it like crazy in Splatoon 2. They increased its range and decreased its fall-off damage. So, like, if it was in the splash radius, it would still kill everybody in 2 hits.
Wow.
So they've dropped it, and you need at least 3 hits in order to kill people.
I was reading in some of the comments on Japanese sites and everything, and they were actually saying as well, can you please nerf the Tri-Slosher? I was like, wow, this is worldwide, this opinion.
Yeah, and just real quick, the 2 days ago, I think it was the European finals for the England championships for Splatoon 2. And it really pissed everyone off in the community what they did with the semifinals and the finals. And I guess the quarterfinals. Nintendo brought out special consoles just for those final groups of players, and people couldn't play on their own consoles. And it was version 1.2 of Splatoon, which is like a few months old. And so all of the top teams had to go back to the old meta, which they hadn't practiced in like 2 or 3 weeks. And so all of a
man.
sudden, like, the Tri-Sloshers were out, and people were like, wait, how do we handle this? And so one of the top teams that I follow only barely won because they had to switch out. They didn't realize it was 1.2 until all of a sudden somebody had a Tri-Slosher and killed someone in 2 hits. They're like, wait a second, this is version 1.2. But anyway, Splatoon 2 is really fun to follow along with some of the competitive scene. It's starting to grow. I'm really enjoying it. So that's what I've been up to.
Cool.
Played Pokemon Tournament DX.
Yeah.
It just came out. Playing with my bro Gengar. He's eating souls and shredding them in his Mega Evolution form. Pretty great. His eyes are really scary whenever you lose a round with him because they bug out like insanely big and they're terrifying, which is the stuff of nightmares.
Well, he is a nightmare Pokemon, so...
Incidentally, my friend showed me a picture of Gengar at Comic-Con, and I want that thing hung up above my enemy's bed. So when they wake up, that's the first thing they see. Because it's horrifying. And then I've been playing Pokemon Gold. Never played Gen 2, except I guess Crystal version. So it's my first time going through this game.
Wait. So you have played Crystal or you haven't?
I played Crystal.
Oh, okay.
I skipped Gold Silver. I went and played Crystal actually after 3rd Gen.
Okay.
It's kind of weird.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
But yeah, first time playing Gold and Silver originally. It's a lot of fun. I don't know if it exactly holds up as much today. If you don't like the original Pokemon games, you probably won't like this one. Just because it's kind of old. But if you're like me and you play the crap out of Blue, Red, and Yellow and don't care, then it's great.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I need to get it.
For sure. A lot of good memories.
it's $10. $10.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Skylar.
Well,
How about you, James?
I've been playing mostly Metroid. I ended up beating the game this week, and then I 100%ed it, and that was just, oh my goodness. I'm not going to speedrun it. There's something like, the classic Samus is wearing something else when you speedrun it at a certain time. But I don't know if I want to put the time into it quite yet. Like I said, there's other stuff to play. But it is definitely worth it to 100%, especially if you're into the Metroid universe. So I highly recommend it, and we'll definitely talk about it next week in the podcast. And we got to make it spoiler, because it's that good. We need to talk about it with each other.
Metroid lore just got deeper.
Oh yes.
All right, I'm gonna have to freaking.
I'm
beat
so
it
sorry.
100%.
We're teasing it like crazy for David.
No, it's kind of funny because usually I know about this lore stuff, but I don't know about this one because I haven't done it yet.
No, it's pretty big. Moving on, I'm playing Pokken, just like Skylar. I just want to say, I feel like this should have been the version that was on Wii U. I had fun with the Wii U version, but I did feel it was lacking in a few things, characters, modes. But now we have more modes and characters that were the characters were included in the arcade version. So I guess goodie for the arcade people. But on the Wii U we didn't get the DLC. So it's nice to see that we finally have them, but at the same time, I can't help but think this should have been on the Wii U to begin with, or at least to have the DLC. And then with a port, which I'm fine with importing it, then they could have added some more new characters and maybe another new mode or something along those lines, and that would have felt more complete, or like the transition to the Switch means a little more. And of course, adding the portability is huge, and they at least they did add what they had in the arcade and a little more. I mean, I'm glad they did that, but it shouldn't have been this way in the first place.
It's nice looking at the character screen and actually seeing it full.
Yes, that's true.
So.
They made some good additions for the most part, but
Why Croagunk? Why?
But I feel like there should be more, but I have a ton of fun with this.
So, real quick, I want to say one thing about Pokken.
Okay.
Okay.
There is a mission panel. There's these new mission panels. And in the second cup, you have this mission panel where you have to play as Croagunk.
Oh, really?
Well, your support Pokemon is Croagunk. And several times in that matchup, I was fighting Croagunk. And Krogunk's special move is more Krogunk. So all there was for like a straight 20 fights probably was just Krogunk.
Oh my gosh.
Krogunk was my support, Krogunk was my character, Krogunk was my opponent, Krogunk was my special move. Krogunk was everything.
Love. Krogunk is life.
And the picture you get in that panel? Krogunk.
I would have laughed if it was like Pikachu or something like that.
No, Toxicroak. If they just give you a picture of Toxicroak.
There's no Toxicroak in this game. It's just Krogunk.
Just Krogunks.
Just Krogunk.
Welcome to Krogunk Tekken for Krokan tournament. Krokan.
You know, when I first played the game, or after I was done playing it, I was like, yeah, I would really love to see a sequel to this where they add a lot of characters and they do a lot of stuff for this. This just isn't it. And obviously it's not a sequel, it's a port, but you know, it needed a lot more. I mean, it's good for what it is. It really is. But I want to see more, and I don't want this franchise or this series, I guess you could say, to die on the Switch after this. Not saying it's going to. It's just the lack of new ideas is kind of disheartening, and I don't want to see that going forward.
Yeah, makes sense. Cool. Well, I guess that'll do it for us this week. Before we end the episode, I'd just like to thank you so much for joining us. Your support means so much to us. It's why we keep doing this. So, thanks.
Yeah, and Skylar just released a new single. I mean, he kind of releases new songs here and there. He had a remix of Super Mario 64, or is it a remix or is it?
It's kind of like a reimagine. Well, it's not quite a remix. It's more like I tried to recreate it from the ground up.
Which he did a great job. So you should go listen to that, and also his funky guitar. I can't remember what's that one's called.
Techno Funk.
Techno Funk. That one. I really like that one. That one is one that I'll be using in some of our videos here coming up. I also want to
chunky guitar.
Yeah. I also want to give a kind of a shout out, or not a shout out, but a kind of. I guess I'll just say shout out to our Nintendo City Weekly News. It's a new YouTube video that we have online. So every week we're going to post the top 5 news stories of Nintendo and give you an opportunity to hear some of our opinions on it. And also, you know, maybe give you a chance to talk about it in the comments. You know, for example, this week we talked about that tribute to Iwata that was in the Switch. And also the fact that maybe Isle Delfino is in Super Mario Odyssey. Hey, it's a wild theory, but it could be there. So, you know, if you if you want to talk about it, hey, we have a perfect place to do so in our Discord chat or even in the comment section on our YouTube video. So please go check it out. Subscribe because we're going to have a lot more content on there, but also keep up with our website and podcast.
Yeah, James has been doing a good job with YouTube. He started some review series and that weekly news thing, and it's going to be good, especially if you're the type, our listener, that doesn't read Nintendo news every day like we do, for example. If you just want to know what's new and hot.
Exactly. That's what I'm hoping to grab from this, but we'll see.
Yeah, cool. I'd also like to shout out to our patrons, Chris and Chase. Your support means a ton, and if you want to join them and get these episodes early, go to patreon.com/Nintensity. We're working on some other rewards for the service as well, so yeah, it'd be a great way to help us out. Thanks.
And I'd like to invite you to join our Discord community. We're trying to set up a fun place for people to visit and hang out. Head over to nintendo.city/Discord to join us today. And I'd like to also thank Both Eyes Missing for sending the Twitter message to a link to the Super Audio Cart. That thing looks awesome. I wish I had Contact. Because if I had Contact, which is a plugin, I would definitely use the heck out of this because it is a fantastic chiptune mod for all of the old video game consoles. It looks amazing.
Yeah, don't forget you can tweet to us with the hashtag virtualcast. I watch that every day to see if you tweet at us. Your suggestions could make it onto the show and we might talk about some of the things that you want. So, yeah. Anyway, Thanks for tuning into the Virtual Boys podcast this week. Don't forget to subscribe and rate us on iTunes. And we'd like to remind you to check out our website at nintensity.com, where you can find news, show notes, and so much more. This week's show notes are available at ninten.city/EP70. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Goodbye, you good people.